And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. My wife, Lindsay, and I own a top 100 ranked real estate team, always helping our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches. Just left the International Plaza Mall. Lindsay was speaking on a panel for Real Producers Magazine, talking about new construction, working with new construction. So pretty cool to see that. That was fun. We got Ray Hall in the house, Ray Hall Appraisals, and also going to talk about real estate flips and short-term rentals. What's going on? We just had the county commissioners pass a new update for STR, that's short-term rentals, and we're going to talk about that as well coming up here on the program. Also, a little bit of fishing report. We've got Captain Jesse. He's captain of the Miss Virginia vessel over at the Tarpon Springs area, coming out of that area over there. Great opportunity to get out. We're going to talk with him here as well. Also, a lot of news, tariffs in the news. We're going to break down the numbers, talk about economics. And did you know that the total volume of personal income, 25 trillion. So we're gonna kind of break these down. 25 trillion in personal income, 3.3 trillion in goods. So how do these tariffs actually affect the economy? We're gonna break that down a little bit here coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Feel-good story of the day. A man lives for 100 days with an artificial titanium heart in a successful new trial. Really cool story coming out of Australia with a metal heart. I mean, it's almost like, what's that movie, The Wizard of Oz, coming to life, right, Ray?
There you go.
So we got Ray Hall Appraisals in the house. We're going to get his take on the market, what's going on with the real estate market. He does a lot of appraisals per year. What's the estimate on appraisals per year?
In a good year, we're over 1,000.
About 1,000 appraisals.
A very slow year is maybe between 500 and 750.
Yeah. So that's a lot of value. That's a lot of valuations.
I pet a lot of dogs in a week.
There you go. There you go. All right, so we're going to talk about that here coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we do, a couple of hot listings. And we got a hot listing here at 221 Howard Drive. This one is a beautiful multi-million-dollar listing, right around $3 million over on the beaches. Bel Air Beach, gorgeous property, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square foot, single-family home. Gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 100 feet of water frontage, deep water access. Bring your boats and jet skis. Live that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. 8107 Sierra Manor Lane, another one of our listings, waterfront property. This one's over in the Oldsmart area. It's beautiful property, access to the Gulf of Mexico, a.k.a. the Gulf of America now. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, go fishing out there in that upper Tampa Bay area. This is 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage, 2-story single-family home. 3,600 square feet, over an acre of land, 1.17 acres. You got a 65-year transferable warranty on that beautiful brand new metal roof, and 130 feet of private water frontage, 6,000-pound boat lift. Gorgeous property, private pool, spa package, and a boat lift there as well. 8107 Sierra Manor Lane, couple of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Realty, and you can see all of our listings. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, I got my mortgage loan origination license now, so we can definitely help you with that. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you. You can call the hotline or check out our website at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got Ray Hall in the house. Ray Hall, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me back. Always fun.
Yeah, man. I like to talk a little bit of real estate, and you've got some hands-on knowledge right now. You're doing a flip.
I am.
Over in Tarpon Springs, and dealing with FEMA, so you're seeing it firsthand.
Absolutely.
What are you seeing?
I'm hoping it's going to be a hot listing on your show.
Hot listing. I love it.
Yeah,
let's get it. Let's do it. It's a great area, by the way. I love that area.
I tell you what. So I decided, I wasn't busy enough having an appraisal business.
1,000 appraisals.
Exactly. So decided to start a flipping business. And this is one of my first projects. And, if I break even on it, the amount I've learned about, flood damage properties and, dealing with government entities has been just invaluable.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So this was a house that it's in the Palm Harbor area. It's very close to the water.
Yep.
And it took on about 3 to 4 feet of water.
Okay.
So I was able to get a good deal. After I purchased it, I was then informed that it was substantially damaged.
Okay, what does that mean?
A lot of people are dealing with that right now. That means the cost of renovations or cost of fixing it per FEMA's expenses or expense estimate is more than half the value of the building.
Okay.
So let's say the property is worth $300,000 and the building is worth $200,000. FEMA says you can only spend $100,000 fixing it. Excuse me. So in my case, the county was saying the building is worth $140,000. FEMA was saying it was costing $93,000 to fix it, over that 50% mark. So where was I? I had loans that I borrowed to purchase the house, loans to fix the house, and basically I had them saying you're going to have to possibly tear that house down, lift that house up, which is costs a lot.
Super crazy expensive. Yep.
Or pick the house up and move it somewhere else.
Wow.
So I had to go through the process, which this house is actually in unincorporated Pinellas County.
Okay.
And I went through the process with the county and just found out maybe 2 weeks ago that they were able to reassess it and I could save the house and continue what I was doing.
Wow.
And I will say the people in Pinellas County were incredible. And you know, a lot of places you go out to get a permit and it takes months, and I'm sure you've heard of that before.
Yeah.
Once they okayed it, I went down to their office in downtown Clearwater, and they had me with a permit that day. So my hat's off to everybody in Pinellas County. It was really a great process with them.
Nice.
But my contention's with FEMA. Why are you telling me I can't fix my house?
Right.
Why are you telling me I have to tear it down?
Right.
And that's kind of the problem I have with this issue. And I have friends now in Madeira Beach that had flooding because of the hurricanes, and they've had their home for years. The house has been there since the 50s. They have to tear their house down now.
Wow.
You know, and they had the house paid off. They were looking forward to not having to have a mortgage anymore. And now they have to do it.
What a tough break, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a tough break. And the challenging part that you hear is the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of resonates with DOGE and what's going on a national level is that those bureaucracies, especially coming out of D.C. with FEMA and some of the other, they're just not local. They don't understand the local conditions, and you know they're probably just reading it out of a handbook somewhere and not really empathizing, you know, with the homeowners. You know, the people that are just on the ground, and so here you are, an appraiser. You're in the business.
Yep.
So if it was just a lay person that just didn't know better and wasn't in the business, they may have just kind of laid down and just took the loss, right?
And that's how I got this house. You know, this person just didn't want to deal with it, so they sold the house to what's called a wholesaler. I know you're familiar with that. This is a person who buys a house at a very large discount.
Yep.
And then they sell it to someone like myself who buys houses and fixes them up for a little bit more.
Yep.
And that's where their profit is the difference.
And they don't technically close on it, right? They're just selling the paper to you. They're selling that contract to you.
It depends.
Assignable.
Sometimes they do, but sometimes, like you just said, it's an assignable contract.
Yeah.
I believe that's what mine was.
Yep. Most of the time, that's how I've seen them at least.
Yeah, right. And I did see 2 closings for mine. You know, it was on the same date. I could see what they made on it. I could see what I bought it for.
Interesting.
And boy, did I could have went down a little more on it, actually. They had a good deal on that house.
Yeah.
But, you know, my advice, if you're listening, if you're in that situation, just you know, play the game with the county. Honestly, I can do they'll allow you to have an appraiser come in. We have to do a very detailed cost approach, and we can show them, no, the improvements are actually worth, you know, not $50,000 but $100,000 or whatever it is. Now, it doesn't work in every situation, but if you're in this situation and you want to save your house, give me a call. We can do this appraisal where we're doing that cost approach, and that could save your house.
Yeah, if you have anybody that's in this position, thinking about this situation, Ray Hall Appraisals, Brandon BRimes here, Keller Williams Realty, you know, we can help guide you. Jason Avery Construction. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize professionals. Jason has some, you know, tips. It's like, hey, instead of doing the shower quote with, top-notch materials, we'll do a shower quote with the least possible cost materials without the glass enclosure. Right. I mean, there's ways to work around this. 813-917-1894. Call or text that number. That is our hotline. It comes directly to me, 813-917-1894. Call or text. Save that number in your phone because it's a great resource for you, whether you need attorneys associated with real estate or 80 different categories here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, a lot of people kind of switching gears, Ray Hall Appraisals on the show here with me. We're talking about Pinellas County Commissioners just had a recent meeting. This is an STR update, short-term rentals update, occupancy. So here's some of the proposed ordinances that came out. And I think they were adopted. I would have to double check it. It seems like they were adopted, but occupancy cap of 10 people, including children. Clear definition of a bedroom from Florida statutes, allowing 2 people per bedroom plus 2 in common areas. And then also, while we're on that topic, what is in a bedroom based on an appraisal from a real estate perspective? Because you hear this is another big one that comes up all the time.
The definition of a bedroom?
Yes.
Well, a lot of people think it's just a room with a closet.
Right.
They always say the closet, but what a lot of people don't know is you have to have an additional ingress-egress, which could be a window, a door, basically for an emergency purpose.
Yep.
So it can't be a room where you can be trapped in there. And, I remember a house I did in, it was like Lake Wales or something like that, where somebody just did a job on this house, putting pieces together and building rooms and building. I had to walk through this little tunnel to get to this new portion of the house. It was, and he had all these rooms, and he thought they were bedrooms. And I said, "You don't have a window."
Yeah.
I said, "You have, just a door." I said, "Anybody trapped in here in a fire is, they got trouble." So
they got big trouble.
You got to have that additional ingress egress, and a lot of people don't realize that. Also, if the only access point to that bedroom is through another bedroom, it's not a bedroom.
That's a no-no.
No, really, that's just kind of an extension of that other bedroom.
Other bedroom.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
All right, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 9 a.m. And again, a lot of these, noise ordinances, it's coming in from these Airbnbs, VRBOs, short-term rentals that are, party pads, whether it's a spring breakers, it's bachelor parties, bachelorette, et cetera. So quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 9 a.m. Limited parking, one car per 3 people confined to the property. 24/7 hotline for immediate complaint resolution with extended code enforcement hours. Annual certificate of renewal. Required display of parts of the ordinance inside the STRs. Fines of up to $1,000 for violations. Got to have some teeth behind these things. Unanimous approval by the county commissioners. The ordinance to ensure accountability and self-sustainability. And you brought up a good point, too. Some of these properties need to be zoned in a certain way, right?
Correct. Yeah, out in the Clearwater Beach area, has to be zoned for tourism for you to do short-term rentals. So if you have a house in the tourism area, you can go ahead and do that. But if it's just a residential zoning, you can't do that. Remember, every municipality has its own rules for short-term rentals. Some of them allow it, some of them don't. Just all depends on where you go. Personally, I like those ordinances. I'm a big fan of short-term rentals. I think they're a great income source. They give a lot of opportunity to people, but the neighbors have to be protected. Right. A maximum of 10 people. That's reasonable. The parking, that's reasonable. You don't want to get the neighbors mad, because then when the elections come up, they're going to go after, they want to elect the officials who want to get rid of them.
Yep.
And, that limits everybody. Remember, hotels have security staff, so they can keep the noise down. They can control the parking. Airbnbs, you don't have that kind of control. So really, what they're putting in place there is just kind of the typical rules that anyone would have to follow in any kind of short-term rental situation, be it your single-family home or a hotel.
Great point.
But you're just helping that community. You want that community to accept those short-term rentals. You want them to be happy about it and okay with it.
Yep.
And really, they're not I don't see that as them trying to hurt that business. I see it as them saying, hey, you can do it.
Yeah.
Let's just keep this where everybody's happy and everybody's benefiting.
Exactly. Yeah. Sustainability. You want that use of that property, but you want sustainability. You want that community in harmony. People getting along. That makes a lot of sense. All right. More with Ray Hall coming up. Quick shout out to Lee's Royal Services. Lee's Royal Services, longtime friend of the show, for all of your cleaning. Speaking about cleaning those rental properties, that's a whole business in itself, right? The people that are looking to turn those over multiple times in a week. Lee'sRoyalServices.com, home and office cleaning. Reach out to Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. On the interior. On the exterior, we're talking about Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. HeightsSoftWash.com. longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Shout out to Ramin. He's the owner. HeightSoftwash.com on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, quick break coming up. Man, feel good story of the day. Man lives for 100 days with an artificial titanium heart in successful new trial. Feel good story. Also, we're going to talk about these tariffs. What's the effect? I'm going to get an economist clip from an economist breaking it down for us here coming up, and more with Ray Hall Appraisals on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rimes 1 at CQB Show. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rimes, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Brandon Rimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. That is my direct cell. You can call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here in studio. We're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals. Does a lot of valuations for us. Help me out big time with a commercial property as well when we look at valuing some of our properties. Some of the ones that are more difficult, he can come in and help with that. Also, he has for homeowners out there, he has an owner's use appraisal that we can talk about as well coming up here on the program. Before we do a couple of hot listings here, we like to feature our listings on air. It helps our sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure and the profit. We got a new listing here at 10129 Little Road. This one is just a perfect opportunity for a business owner. Now, it's currently operating as a chiropractor office, but it could be other professional buildings, medical or business uses. We've got 2,337 square feet, over an acre of land. This is an office building in Newport Richey, Florida. 10129 Little Road, Newport Richey. You got plenty of parking, 2 curb cutouts, and a circular driveway for seamless ingress and egress. Also, 9594 Maricamp Road, another commercial listing from the Platinum MVP team. I want to remind you, we do look for your residential listings, commercial, vacant land. We'd love to help you buying, selling, investing. 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road, just listed. This is a new listing to our team, and it's 5,725 square feet. Just under an acre of land. You got plenty of parking. It's a thriving hardware store just outside of Ocala. You have a private office, kitchen, conference room. This property has rental income built in as well. There's multiple units being rented. Great opportunity at 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road in Ocala, Florida, operating as a hardware store. You're buying the business. You're buying the property itself. Great opportunity. By the way, Andrew QB can help you get 100% financing on business loans, U.S. commercial and business capital. 100% financing for business loans through the Consumer Quarterback Show's partnership with Andrew QB. great opportunity. Reach out to the hotline. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got Ray Hall in the house. I want to jump into those topics and more, but let's talk about these tariffs because there's so much in the news around these tariffs. I found this clip, and this economist really breaks it down.
So if we look at kind of worst case scenario for tariffs, as a country, we have about $25 trillion of total personal income annually. We import about $3.3 trillion of goods. If there was a universal 25% tariff on every single good we import, that would equate to roughly a 3% income tax on the American taxpayer.
Isn't that interesting how he broke that down? Mm-hmm. You know, $25 trillion personal income. So that's every American that's working, $25 trillion, that adds up to. And what he's saying is that $3.3 trillion of goods that we import. So everybody on the left, a lot of people are screaming about, oh, these tariffs are going to tank everything. It's going to be terrible. He breaks it down. It makes so much sense, right? Even if we were to tax those at assuming 25%, that's only a 3% income tax. I want to continue with the clip.
Mm-hmm. But not the end of the world. But that's only if you're looking at tariffs in a vacuum. If then you start to pair it with the other pro-growth initiatives, lower taxes, less regulation, it actually seems pretty decent. And I also look at the fact that, you know, one of the latest things President Trump has talked about is potentially no tax up to $150,000 of income. He's talked about no tax on Social Security. He's talked about no tax on tips, no tax on overtime.
Yeah, so isn't that interesting? Yeah. You know, the effect of that and potentially eliminating taxes for anybody that makes less than $150,000 a year. Yeah. That's amazing. And no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. And then the big one for business owners and companies is less regulation, which Jesse's going to tell us about that in the next segment because he's regulated a lot in the fishing industry. So we're going to talk about some regulations coming up with Jesse. But your take on that?
You know, my thing is this is being handled by people who are a lot smarter than me.
Well, don't sell yourself short, Ray. Come on.
Well, you know, hey, when it comes to real estate valuation, I'll brag about myself all day. But,
there you go.
You know, when it comes to these tariffs, I think a lot of the pushback on it's too soon.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. You know, this is gonna, you know, maybe put, you know, money back into the domestic manufacturing.
Absolutely. That's the goal.
And it's going to promote people to get back into manufacturing, you know.
Onshoring versus offshoring.
Exactly. So I'm you know, I'm optimistically cautious about it.
Yeah.
You know, it is kind of a scary thing when, you know, we're going to start putting tariffs on all these items. But then again, I'm saying we can take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
We have the infrastructure to make all these products.
Yep.
You know, and, you know, if this is a push back to that,
yep.
And if we do have lower tax, and again, I've thought about that myself. Well, with these increased tariffs, do you need to tax us as much as you do?
Right.
Are you just transferring the tax from the resident of the United States to the overseas people?
Right.
If I'm paying less taxes next year, I'm a happy guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I pay a lot of taxes, payroll taxes, income taxes.
Yep.
You know, when I'm
property
done with this
taxes,
house, property taxes. When I'm done with this house in Clearwater, I got to pay taxes on that.
Yep.
So anything you can do to take my taxes away and maybe put it somewhere that's really been taxing the United States on our goods for decades.
Yeah, reciprocal taxes.
Exactly.
It makes so much sense. What are you going to get? Like 25% on that flip? Is that what you're going to get hit with?
Probably
about 25%. Real quick, we're almost out of time. Tell us about your offer to our audience.
Absolutely. If you need an appraisal done, if it's just for your eyes only, you want to get an idea of what you could sell your house for, give us a call. It's a $200 appraisal. You can call us at 813-452-5369 or go to rayhallappraisals.com.
rayhallappraisals.com. Longtime friend of the program. Always a fun conversation. Thanks for coming in, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to talk with Captain Jesse. The vessel is the Miss Virginia Deep Sea Fishing Incorporated, MissVirginiaDeepSeaFishing.com. We're going to talk about the fishing industry, talk about regulation. We've had some good conversations with him coming up. Also, feel good story of the day: man lives for 100 days with artificial titanium heart in successful new trial. Feel good story coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. You know, we greatly appreciate you. It really makes our day when you call the hotline and you support our local economy by supporting our Consumer Quarterback Show expert contributors. These are fine folks, men and women that come in and own businesses or are account executives or represent businesses, and they come in out of their busy day, take time out of their schedule to educate us on different things happening in different markets and different business sectors and parts of the economy. And it's really appreciative when you call into the hotline, which you can hit us up at 813-917-1894. Call or text. That's an off-air number. And support the local economy by calling 813-917-1894 and online at consumerqb.com. You know, it really makes my day to talk to our audience, have these conversations. There's lots of different questions. Folks were reaching out about business loans last week. Had a couple people reaching out to refinance. Wanted to look at a valuation on their home to refinance their home and potentially sell it. Or potentially sell it. So we'll help you with that. And we're going to talk with Jesse, Captain Jesse, that is Miss Virginia Deep Sea Fishing here coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. See what's going on out in that Gulf of America now. It used to be the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll talk with him here in just a minute. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. I'd like to feature our listings on air on the Consumer Quarterback Show. My wife, Lindsay, and I own a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay, helping our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches. 17416 Magnolia. This is another $1 million listing, just shy of $1 million. Beautiful estate-style home in Claremont, Florida. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, and you have 2 half-bath as well, 2-car garage, 3121 square feet, acre lot. You have an acre of land here, gated community with lake access, professionally designed landscape, grand circular driveway, beautiful pool and spa, featuring lighting, a waterfall, and a fountain. Great opportunity to own real estate. Cape Cod-inspired design. Location is awesome as well. Magnolia Island is home to only 30 homes in that community. It's a rare gem at an excellent price. 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard, Claremont, Florida. Check out that listing on our website at platinummvpteam.kw.com. 10711 Old Sycamore Loop. Here's another listing that we have in Land O'Lakes, Florida. This is a great opportunity to own real estate. Land O'Lakes, you have that lighter color kitchen. People really love that. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 2046 square foot single family home. Stainless steel appliances, large backyard as well. Beautiful large backyard, fenced in as well. You got the kids playing. Maybe you got a couple dogs out there. Lanai is 10 by 16. Beautiful opportunity. And the community has a great pool there. Beautiful pool with zero depth entry. Playground, hiking trail. Great opportunity. 10711 Old Sycamore Loop, another one of our hot listings. You can see all of our properties, all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got Captain Jesse in studio with us. He is captain of the Miss Virginia Deep Sea Fishing Incorporated. And welcome back in, sir.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, man. How have things been? You been busy over there?
Yeah, it's been really busy during spring break here. Catching a lot of grunts, hogfish, mangrove snapper, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's closed, obviously.
Tell us, because I'm not sure like what season we're in. What's closed? Like some of the grouper closed right now, or
gag grouper are closed, red snapper are closed, and amberjacks are currently closed.
okay,
On the 1st of April, they open up past 20 fathoms. The red grouper do.
okay,
Yeah. At this time of year, it's kind of hard to catch red grouper in close, which is why they have them closed inside or outside of 20 fathoms.
and 20 fathoms.
It's called the 20 fathom curve. It's 120 feet.
Okay,
A fathom is 6 feet.
okay, gotcha. All right, learning stuff already today.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your business and how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, we've had Miss Virginia since 1993. Been at it for quite a while. We just had our 30th anniversary on the boat. I've been running the boats now for about 15 years. It's a family business. The boat's named after my sister.
Very cool.
For the most part, we run daily trips from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay,
for the general public to go. We offer charters and specialty trips, too. We got a specialty trip coming up on April 18th. It's a 30-hour trip. We'll be going after red grouper, mangrove snapper, yellowtail, stuff like that.
nice. 30-hour trip. So how does that walk me through that? It's a big vessel, by the way. How many feet?
It's 58 feet, and it's 16 feet wide. It's got a full galley, bunk room, restroom facilities, all that good stuff, fish storage.
So on those 30 hour trips, are people fishing part time, taking some naps, or how does that work?
Some people do, but most of the people that go out, they're there to, the whole time we're fishing, they're staying out.
They're gamers.
Yeah.
They're on, man. Right?
Absolutely.
They're loving it.
Yep. Yeah, it's about a 5 to 6 hour ride each way. We fish anywhere from 80 to 100 miles offshore on those trips. They're very productive, a lot of fun.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's something you've never tried, you should do it at least once.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. People love to get out and enjoy. That's part of living in Florida.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
The Florida lifestyle. Have a lot of fishermen, or what have you seen in terms of the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? Have you seen some of the updates yet, or?
Well, yeah, on some of the maps, it's already changing. I know the fishing community has taken to it great. Everybody seems to love it.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but it's basically the reason why the administration did that is because a lot of the old rules around drilling and some of the regulation was in the Gulf of Mexico. So now that it's no longer the Gulf of Mexico, I don't know if that's a legitimate thing. I don't know if that's a rumor. I don't know. That's interesting, though.
I personally think it was done for Trump to get some more publicity, to be honest with you.
Right,
because
good
the
PR.
left kept renaming stuff, so he decided he'd start renaming stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, I love it. Gulf of America. And it is, it's North America, Central America, South America. That's makes more sense than Mexico.
Sure.
Gulf of Mexico.
Sure, absolutely.
But anyways, yeah, so when you think about fishing here locally, we want you reaching out to Captain Jesse. Miss Virginia DeepSeaFishing.com is the website. And Todd, let's pull up some of his images on Facebook. So if you're watching our live stream or our YouTube channels and some of our other TV side, you can see that. But if we can pull up some of these pictures, let's look and see what we've got here. So Jesse, what kind of fish are we looking at here? Top left, what is that?
Oh, right there.
The boy holding that one.
Oh, yeah, that looks like a big mangrove snapper there.
Good eating right there, ain't it?
Yep. There's hogfish up on the screen. There's a lot of content on the page. We post videos and, it's very real time.
Yeah.
To keep our customers up to date on what we're catching, what we're allowed to keep, and so on.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you also have full service there as well, so they can, they don't have to take these fish home and do all of the hard work themselves. Your team will do that?
Yes, we offer a fish cleaning service. At the end of the day, it's very inexpensive. We charge $0.25 a fish to have your fish filleted. If it's a larger fish, it's like $1. So mates make some extra money.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Absolutely. Done for you, and then you go home, you got some fish, you fry them up. Any good recipes you come up with over the years?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I love doing been on kind of a ceviche kick lately.
Okay.
It's really good, and I recently started making them like chicken piccata, but do it with fish.
Okay.
And that's absolutely delicious, too.
Wow.
Been doing that lately, and blackening, all that. They're great white fish that we catch, so
Yeah.
Also, it's getting kind of popular too. There's a couple restaurants on the sponge docks there where we run out of. You can bring your catch right off the boat, and they'll cook it right there on the water for you and give you a couple of sides with it. It's not very expensive, so that's kind of cool. You get off the boat and go have a drink and have your fish cooked.
I love that. Yeah, I've done that a couple times before. I think one time down in Keys, in the Florida Keys, we did that. And yeah, you pay a little fee. They throw you some extra sides. They fry your fish or broil it or grill it.
Absolutely.
And blacken it. But yeah, that's a lot of fun, man. So you got you've got this big vessel. You're out there fishing a lot. How has the federal government hampered you, or have you seen some regulations change over the last 18 months or so?
Yeah, well, since I was a kid, it's just been getting worse and worse. I mean, lately what's hit us the hardest is the gag grouper closures. It went from 6 months to 1 week overnight. Most of it's bad science and bad data, and there's nothing you can do to fight it. It's really a shame. It's these agencies have complete control over you. This year, I think we're going to end up probably with a week again, and everything that is said is incorrect. I keep up with the council meetings and the updates and everything, and it's only going to be closed a week this year, but because of that, it's going to be open longer next year, and it never comes to fruition, and it really puts the foot down on the local operators. And it's not just us, it trickles down like in any other industry. The local supply stores, the mom and pop tackle shops, the bar where you'd go get your fish cooked, they lose all that revenue. The fuel company, hotels, restaurants, everything. It's a big trickle down. It brings a lot of money to the area.
And what is that exactly now? They're limiting it to 1 week for specific fish?
Yeah, gag grouper, which historically was our main staple. Everybody fished for gag grouper in West Central Florida, and they're thicker than ever. There's no reason for it. It's a real shame. And another thing too, but I was mentioning before about that 20 fathom closure. This time of year, there's a lot of species closed, as I had mentioned, and there's some areas offshore like Pulley Ridge and some places that the fishing's actually really great this time of year. But red grouper's open, as I had mentioned, but you can't keep them past the 20 fathom curve.
Huh.
Yellowmouth grouper, black grouper, people know them as carburetor. They're all closed out there. So who's going to make a 180-mile run from Tarpon Springs down there when 3 of the big fish are closed, and then most of the groupers you're not even allowed to keep past 20 fathoms. But get this, the commercial sector is required to keep them past 20 fathoms.
Huh.
And the reason we're not is, and well, historically too, there was a closure this time of year for the commercial sector, and it's to protect the spawn. The fish spawn deep that time of year.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, the longliners are required they're pushed to the 20 fathom curve all year, but they're still allowed to fish and go about their normal operation, but everybody else is not. And what I don't understand, what's good for the goose, shouldn't it be good for the gander?
Right.
So either they need to suffer with us, or we should be allowed access and be able to conduct business in a time of year would open up a lot more species, and not just for the head boats and charter boats, but for all the recreational fishermen as a whole.
Right.
I believe in everyone being able to get a fair shake.
Fair opportunity to catch those fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems interesting. I'm thinking maybe is it the something to do with the restaurant lobby or something like that? Some kind of a, because are they farming or catching those fish to utilize mostly for commercial, to take them to the restaurants? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the commercial sector. Yeah,
Got it.
They go through a fish house, and yeah, they're allowed to keep them because they're on a quota. They don't care. They can keep them past 20 fathoms.
Huh.
And what doesn't make sense is if that's to protect the spawn.
Yeah.
How is it that one sector can go along and catch them,
right,
and the other sector cannot?
Yeah,
it makes absolutely no sense to me.
Got it. Yeah, that's interesting. We're talking with Captain Jesse. He is captain of the Miss Virginia deep sea fishing boat. They come out of the west end of the Tarpon Springs area, right over there off of what's the main drag there? That's
it's Dodecanese Boulevard.
Yep.
It's also known as the Sponge Docks.
Sponge Docks, yeah, that main strip right there where you see all the different restaurants and the sponges everywhere, and some of the a lot of little touristy area. But you continue all the way down and you make a right down there, and that's where your vessel's at.
West end of the Sponge Docks, there's a little roundabout. You make a right and an immediate right, and we're behind a gift shop plaza there, right on the water. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I've been on the ship, so I can tell you, or his vessel, great time. We had a really good time. My friend and I went, and we enjoyed it. And man, it's just nice to get out and enjoy. I say that Florida lifestyle, right? A lot of time we sell real estate here in Tampa Bay, but we're really selling lifestyle. when you think about it, these waterfront homes or, homes that have golf course access. I mean, you're selling that lifestyle in the state of Florida, the ability to go out and enjoy the outdoors. And it's a shame that some of the regulations have gotten in the way. From previous conversations, too, I think we spoke about there was a regulation where you would have to have an auditor on the boat at some point relating to the Chevron case maybe, and that auditor, you would have to pay that person to be on your vessel. Is that?
Yeah, that was that's one of the reasons the Chevron Act got overturned. Up north, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was some sort of mackerel fishing or bait seining, or something up in that area. Well, they were required to have the observers on board with them, then they were required to pay them and feed them, and everything. So the days where they were required to have the observer go out, they were working to pay the observer and not making any money.
It's crazy.
And fine if you're going to institute that and think it's going to help. Well, then the government's going to have to take the dime for that, not the poor local fishermen.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think it's Alan Jackson had the songs, about the little man. They're hurting the little man for a lot of years, but it looks like we're getting a lot of relief now from the Trump administration. Trump Vance are doing a great job. I got a clip I'm going to play on that coming up next too to talk about that. When you look at some of this waste, fraud, and abuse that's being found. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to play this clip for you. It's going to be interesting to see because there's these buildings and these departments that are totally waste. And I'm going to play this clip. I came across it. I think it was on the Charlie Kirk podcast that I wanted to roll that tape when we come back. More with Captain Jesse Zuban in studio with us. Miss Virginia DeepSeaFishing.com. Miss Virginia DeepSeaFishing.com. Right out of Tarpon Springs. Great time. Have some fun with your family. We'll be right back. Also, our feel-good story of the day. Man lives for 100 days with an artificial titanium heart in successful new trial. Coming up, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon BRimes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian conservative companies. And you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent, all types of great essential oils, vitamins, herbs, those types of products. And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well. Tenderloin, sirloin steaks, grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also a business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon BRimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon BRimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Feel good story coming up. More with Captain Jesse as well. Deep Sea Fishing, Miss Virginia Deep Sea Fishing Incorporated. 1905 Masters Way, another one of our listings here. This one's in East Hillsborough County. We have a motivated seller, beautiful property, 432, 2929 square feet. 0.38 acre lot, no backyard neighbor, great opportunity to buy real estate. The community has walking trails, dog park, playground, sports complex, and access to the lake. 1905 Masters Way in beautiful Plant City, Florida. 12255 North US Highway 27. Vacant land. This is a lot listing that we have. 3 acres of land up in Ocala, Florida. You're close to the prestigious Golden Ocala Country Club, moments away from the world-renowned Equestrian Center. Great opportunity to buy some dirt, buy some land, and build, develop, and great opportunity. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's right.
Tell me something good.
All right, you got a man lives for 100 days with artificial titanium heart. This Australian man, he survived for 100 days with an artificial titanium heart before receiving a successful transplant, setting a new record for the longest use of such device. The Bicvacor total heart artificial heart uses magnetic levitation to pump blood, eliminating the need for traditional moving parts. Developed by bioengineer Daniel Timms, the TAH provides hope for heart failure patients awaiting transplants. Early feasibility studies have been successful with plans to expand testing and seek FDA approval. There you go, a real-life character out of the, what was that movie, Todd? That one, and you also had the movie with the golden. Oh gosh, I can't think of the movie right now. With the lion heart, the guy's got the fake heart, the lion heart, the Tin Man.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, yes, thank you. Oh man, so you got a real live Wizard of Oz here. But wow, what an interesting story. A heart. He lives 100 days on a titanium artificial heart, and the device uses magnetic levitation to pump blood. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, good stuff. Captain Jesse, final thoughts, man. If people want to get out and go fishing, what's the best strategy? What should they do?
Well, if you want to fish with us, it's really easy. You can just call the phone number or shoot us a text. Be more than happy to take you out. We run daily trips for the most part. It's 9 to 5. It's $90, and it's $90. There's not like a lot of other places. We're not going to come. You're not going to get there and think it's $90, and then we hit you with parking, and then we're going to sneak in a fuel surcharge. And by the way, you got to rent your rod. We include everything for you: tax, tackle, your fishing poles, fishing license, bait, and parking.
Nice.
Coming up here too, we do have some specialty trips as well. As I had mentioned before, April 18th, May 17th, and then Red Snapper Open June 1st, and we have a lot of different trips on the schedule for that for some of the more serious anglers.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun time. A lot of 36-hour trips, 30-hour trips, 16-hour trips, stuff like that to get out and get those fish on board.
That's fun, man. Yeah, a lot of good eating there. People come home and cook that up, man.
We come in with boxes of fish, man.
I love it.
Yeah, a lot. And on those offshore trips, too, it is a double limit. You get an overnight limit.
I love that. Mm-hmm. All right, I promised the audience we'd play this clip because you talk about regulations, you talk about government waste, and hey, focus your energies on stuff that really matters, and I think that's what our government's finally doing. But I came across this clip, and it was just interesting.
Hey, John. So the first thing to understand is that these are all, quote, independent agencies, which just means that their top person nominally reports directly to the president. But you got to keep in mind they're so tiny that nobody, including the president, ever looks at them. I don't know that I've ever seen a more wild example of out of control on accountability than FMCS. This is an agency that prior to the pandemic had a 9-story office tower in K Street for only 60 employees. Its hallways were lined with oil paintings of those employees and other artwork purchased from the boss's wife with government funds.
So a 9-story building for 60.
If a private individual did something like this, with all these, it's like, wait, purchase from the boss's wife, paintings of the employees themselves, like, come on.
The people with their portraits on the wall. What did they use all that space for?
Good times, I guess. They built an in-house gym. They had a smoking lounge, showers in their office. This was an agency that was created to offer voluntary mediation services between businesses and unions. But plenty of private arbitrators already do that. So the main purpose of FMCS kind of became, as far as I could tell, just a slush fund for its employees.
Slush fund, another government slush fund. And then they want to pick on the small business owners like us, the fishermen like Jesse. Your reaction to that, Jesse?
It stands to reason. Don't steal. The government hates competition.
There you go, right?
But no, if you or me did that, they'd lock you up and throw away the key.
Man, Yeah.
It's something else. And just like in our industry, if you look at NOAA fisheries or National Marine Fisheries, those people's salaries are posted online, and it shows how many days they work.
Wow.
And it would blow your mind if you look it up. I mean, 60, 80 days a year, and they're getting 6 figures, so they're doing other things too. And, you know, they oversee everything. They have the ability to just pull the rug out from under you. And that's why I love this Trump administration. Nobody's safe. Now the people that were putting people out of business might get put out of business themselves.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're hemming and hawing, and they're getting all upset.
Oh, yeah. Well, they want their smoking lounge and their paintings and all that free money.
Exactly. Their, what was it, in-house gym and all the slush funds to go along with it. And that's the money they're making on the books. What are they making off the books, I wonder, too, right?
Oh, it all goes hand in hand.
All right, Captain Jesse, check him out online, MissVirginiaDeepSeaFishing.com, MissVirginiaDeepSeaFishing.com. Check him out. Call the hotline, too. We'll put you in touch with him as well. Get some tickets, go out there, and enjoy a day on the waters. Thanks for coming in, Captain. Appreciate that.
Great. Love to see you guys out there.
Excellent. All right, Ray Hall Appraisals, Captain Jesse, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.